Now, when someone has a stroke, getting to hospital quickly and assessing the right treatment can be the difference between life and death. But as the Welsh Government develops its new stroke delivery plan, survivors and their families are calling for major improvements to services. Charities are describing access to one life-changing treatment as potluck and are also worried about the impact of ambulance waiting times. Katie Fenton has our report.
Mountain climber, marathon runner, musician.
This last song is a Kenny Rogers song called You Decorated My Life. All my life was a paper.
Gareth Hale lived life to the full. He loved sharing song covers and making memories with his daughter Lisa. He was also fluent in 3 languages. Speech was a huge part of his identity. But in April last year, Gareth had a stroke.
So the opposites now. Yes and...
No.
Perfect. That's really good. Knife and... You have a knife and...
No.
Fork?
Fork.
Yeah.
Gareth went from teaching English to learning to speak it himself.
Dad losing his speech, and I keep saying speech, but it's written communication as well. There's no other way to describe it other than for him it's catastrophic. And for his daughter to sit opposite my dad and for him to try and speak to me but not be able to, it's like he's there but he's not there, and that's the hardest thing. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think it's just difficult to navigate life when you can't speak or express yourself, written or verbally. Like, where does that leave you?
Gareth is making progress, but it's slow. It's left Lisa questioning whether his outcome could have been better. In her search for answers, she discovered thrombectomy, a treatment that can drastically improve stroke recovery. A thrombectomy is when a blood clot that's cutting off blood flow to the brain is surgically removed. It's more effective the faster it's carried out, but it's not always available. Figures obtained by ITV Wales show that from the start of 2021 to February this year, just 13 patients had a thrombectomy in Cardiff, the only Welsh Health Board that offers the service internally. But that's only available between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Outside of those hours, eligible patients can be transferred to an English hospital. 34 people across Wales were taken to hospitals in Bristol or Liverpool for the procedure, though some health boards did not provide this data, and those services are not available through the night. For those who suffer a stroke out of hours, thrombectomy just isn't an option.
Remember to take big steps as well.
It's not certain whether Gareth would have been eligible, but having suffered his stroke past the cut-off time for his area, either way, it would have been too late. And charities say hundreds more are missing out.
Thrombectomy is a suitable operation for around 1 in 10 strokes, and in Wales that means about 500 people every year could be getting a thrombectomy. What we want the Welsh Government to do is really invest in thrombectomy, and so of course that means putting more money into thrombectomy, but it also means training more staff to be able to deliver this service and to be able to deliver it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no matter where you live in Wales.
There we go.
Gerald McMullen was in Cardiff when he had a stroke inside thrombectomy service hours.
Within hours I was talking and it felt great, I was up, I was looking around and it was just marvellous. My grip of my right hand is still not 100%, but it's, it's a lot better than it was. The surgeon had phoned up and said it could have been a lot worse.
Had you not had a thrombectomy?
Had I not had the thrombectomy, yes.
For Gerald, life is returning to normal, but the future is uncertain for Gareth.
My only hope in this is that Dad finds peace of mind and acceptance of what's happened, and that, he can find happiness again and live a life with purpose, which is what he had before.
Well, Katie joins me now in the studio. We've heard the calls of families and charities. What's been the response of those in power?
Well, in response to Gareth's case, an Iron Bevan University Health Board said it doesn't see enough patients who need a thrombectomy to justify offering that service internally. But it did say that the hospital it sends patients to in Bristol is looking to make their service 24 hours a day, which would have a knock-on effect for lots of patients here. On top of that, the Welsh Government says it's working towards a Wales-wide thrombectomy service as part of its new stroke delivery plan, which is due to be published next year.
Now, this is just one aspect of care for stroke patients, but it's not the only area where charities say they're being let down.
No, we've also been hearing about long ambulance delays and the impact of those. We know that long waits are an existing issue that affect all kinds of 999 calls, but we also know that when it comes to a stroke, acting quickly is crucial. Lisa says it was over an hour and a half before her dad got to hospital, and figures that we've obtained revealed that that's quite a common picture for stroke patients across Wales. Average waiting times for amber stroke-related incidents were just over an hour between 2020 and 2021, and almost 2 hours between 2021 and the first quarter of this year. Now, the Welsh Ambulance Service says it's striving to improve care for stroke patients. It added that there are multiple factors contributing to their outcome and that it's working with partners across the NHS to improve that. And the Welsh Government added that it's investing £3 million into increasing and improving ambulance waiting times.